Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our guests joining us for the SIF Youth Fellowship 2025 virtual information session. We intend to invest this 1 hour very creatively and very pleased to have with us the Climate Investment Fund Secretariat representatives. We have also our esteemed Multilateral Development Bank partners with us. And I'm happy to be introducing myself. My name is Dora Kujo. I'm a Senior Operations Officer, and I manage the Climate Investment Fund's governance and stakeholder engagement program, which also encompasses our youth initiative. So it's a privilege to have you here. Also acknowledging our representatives from our very first batch of fellows who graduated just 2 months ago. So it's a privilege to have you here. So next slide, please. So as I mentioned, this is just 1 hour session, and we will be doing a brief of introductions. We would then give you a very quick overview of the SIF Fellowship Program, and I'll have that single honor of inviting our Multilateral Development Bank representatives to give us a quick insight into the programs that will be hosting our fellows. And of course, it will be just opportune for us to invite our former fellows, 2 of them at most, to give us a very quick insight of what the experience has been working as fellows, working in the multilateral development banks in their home countries. We would, of course, open space for some Q&A, and then we will wrap up. Next slide. So I believe that by virtue of being connected here, you already have some good insight of the climate investment funds, but it will be useful to give you a very quick flavor. The Climate Investment Fund is one of the largest multilateral climate funds globally. It was established in 2008 by a group of G8 leaders who saw the need for fast-track climate financing to support low and middle income countries in driving their low carbon development and climate resilient development pathways. Currently, the SIF can speak to 16 years of delivery and has, of course, 16 years as a demonstrated fast track record as a pioneering multilateral climate fund that is delivering low cost, long-term financing. We're currently supporting over 80 developing countries. The SIF has 15 contributor countries, and currently we have up to 12.1 billion in both pledges and contributions, supporting interventions in sustainable forest management, climate resilience. We're looking at nature-based solutions, clean technology, clean energy. We're looking at renewable energy integration and generation, and also supporting our work around pushing the barriers on what we're referring to as nature-based solutions. And we're also looking closely into the areas of climate smart cities, and hopefully to be launching new initiatives very soon. Also, let me mention very critically here that the SIF's business model works in partnership with our multilateral development banks, and we're very happy that the 12.1 billion funding is leveraging or pulling in co-financing to the tune of 64 billion plus. And currently, we are delivering more than 360 operations in both low and middle income countries. The SIF's business model is very inclusive. And aside working with our multilateral development banks, the 6 AAA multilateral development banks as our implementing entities or implementing agencies, we also have the model of having representatives from civil society, indigenous people, local communities, and the private sector sitting on our boards as active observers. So this is a clear demonstration that the SIF's model believes in transparency, accountability, and inclusivity in the delivery of climate solutions. Next slide, please. As a testament to the SIF's inclusive model, we have really invested effort into engaging meaningfully with youth leaders. And happy to say that in 2020-2021, we co-developed our youth consultation note, what we're calling the Towards Youth Engagement Strategy Consultation Note, in close partnership with youth leaders from across the globe. And we're very pleased to have that opportunity to present our engagement note at the COP26. It's important that to flag these key factors as critical to delivering youth engagement. With the strong input and the contributions from the youth leaders, we identified 4 key pillars in the areas of climate innovation and entrepreneurship, particularly around youth internship programs, and of course with our youth fellowship program. We also identified with the youth leaders the focus on communications, outreach, and knowledge exchange. And as a result of that, we've been devoting efforts into providing regional training on climate finance. At the 3rd pillar, which is also extremely important, is on ensuring that youth can be part of the decision-making platforms. And happy to say that our governance model that allows non-state actors to sit on our boards have representative of youth leaders as part of our active observers. The 4th pillar is on networking and cross-collaboration. And here we focus on organizing various forms of debriefs and youth exchanges with our partners. So next slide, please. Very, very briefly on the Youth Fellowship Program, which is the eye of our conversation this morning, our local time. The fellowship program is a unique one-year professional development initiative. The focus is on young leaders, and it's designed to give selected candidates the opportunity to work with the Climate Investment Fund's co-finance initiatives implemented by our multilateral development banks in key frontier climate finance and climate action programs. And as I alluded to earlier, the focus or the thematic areas or the program areas that fellows will be working in would include on nature-based solutions, clean energy, climate resilience, and on cross-cutting issues as gender and social inclusion. And here, let me flag that our fellows will be working in their country of residence. Next slide, please. I'm really excited about this slide because here I flagged 3 key things that are unique to this model of the SIF's Youth Fellowship Program. That on it, we've really focused on local engagement. And as I noted earlier, fellows are placed in the Multilateral Development Bank country offices within their home countries. And here we help to ensure that relevance to local context and give the opportunity for fellows to get direct exposure to on-the-ground climate action. The second point here is on the thematic focus. Here, fellows will contribute to and gain interest in SIF-mandated frontier areas. And again, forgive me for reiterating it, but it's important to know that within the climate action space, the key areas such as nature-based solutions, clean energy, climate resilience, and as I noted, giving you exposure on cross-cutting issues on gender and social inclusion. A key point, a 3rd one that I want to flag is on the global cohort diversity. Here, the fellowship program ensures geographical diversity within the cohort. And here we are also ensure that we foster that space for cross-cultural collaboration and knowledge exchange among the young leaders from the various SIF-supported countries. Next slide. We have had the privilege, again, of working on the very first batch of the SIF fellows in close partnership with our multilateral development banks. And here I'm happy to say that they are the African Development Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the Inter-American Development Bank for Latin America and Caribbean region, the World Bank, and the International Finance Corporation. We've also stretched our wings in ensuring that space for inclusivity, partnering again with our United Nations Office of the Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. We have had grounded experience of partnering with the Ghana Climate Innovation Center and specifically with their partners in the Ashesi University based in Ghana. We've also had a chance of working with the UNFCCC youth arm called the Yango. So at this juncture, I'm going to pass the floor to one of our very esteemed partners, or should I say colleagues, my dear Daria Chekolskaya, who has joined the CIF as an intern from the Eastern Europe and Central Asia region, has really broken the ground in showcasing what it takes to really provide a voice and the space for meaningful engagement with youth, and has therefore joined on the CIF as a consultant and is really helping us step up our game on having that energizing, well-targeted engagement with our youth fellows. So let me pass the floor to you, Daria, to take the next few slides. And once you're done, I'll have the privilege of inviting our Multilateral Development Bank partners to present. So over to you, Daria, and thank you again.
Thank you, Dora, for that wonderful overview and also introduction. Then I'll skip that part. I'll just say that, yes, hi, everyone, and my name is Daria, and I'll be coordinating some of the practicalities of this fellowship. So right now, I would like to walk you through some of the key eligibility criteria and also address maybe the most frequently asked questions that we've received. And also I'll highlight this year key stations for the fellowship and also share some thematic focus for this year. So let's start with the age requirement, a topic that often sparks curiosity. And maybe the first question to ask is like, why do we even have an age restriction for this fellowship? The reason is simple. It's because we designed the program to engage early career professionals and young people, offering them a meaningful pathway into the leadership roles in climate action, climate finance projects. So to achieve this, the applicants must be between 18 and 20 years old at the time of application. So by December 18th, you should not be turning 29 in that case. So next, let's talk about the country selection. As you know, this year's countries are Brazil, Ghana, Turkey, India, Papua New Guinea, and 6 fellows will be chosen, selected in total. Turkey will host 2 fellows. And you might be wondering why your country is not on the list. And again, the answer is quite simple. Each year, we are trying to focus on the countries where there are active CIF supported projects, and also the projects that fellows would be meaningfully engaging with. So we would like to ensure the alignment with the ongoing initiatives in the regions. And these were the countries that we prioritized this year. And also we would like to have a manageable cohort of fellows to provide more meaningful and impactful experience. Thus, we only limiting the participants to 6 fellows this year. So if you live in the country that is not on the list, unfortunately, this year you're not eligible, but hey, stay in touch with us, and maybe the next year we'll be opening something for your country. So additionally to residing in these countries, you need to have a work authorization. So if you are, let's say, an international student residing in these countries, potentially you can work, you can apply if you have a work authorization. So if you have a work permit that allows you to work more than, specific number of hours per week or per month, then you might be still eligible to apply. Of course, regarding language requirements, English is a must. All the communication is happening in English, and it's quite a priority to have a good understanding and also good skills of writing and speaking. And also for majority of the mentioned countries, you also need to have a working proficiency of the local language. That is all stated in the terms of references for each country, and also you can indicate it once you are applying through the application process. So just to highlight that the fellowship is going to start around March and last for a year, for a full year. It's not possible to cut it shorter. So this is a commitment for a year. Also, we are not looking for people with a huge experience in climate finance. In fact, you don't even have to have a experience in climate finance specifically, but of course, we are welcoming some professional, general like professional competencies, and also climate change related experience is definitely desirable. And you would be getting a stipend based on the local costs of living, in-kind support, mentoring, office spaces, and also in-person training sessions, as well as online sessions with our robust capacity building program, and also different professional development opportunities. So with regarding to a little bit on hosting arrangements, so we SIF, we are providing the overall management of the program and oversight, and we are focused on the development of the cohort. So we are managing sort of how the whole cohort is experiencing the fellowship and where each of the fellow is in their journey. MDB country offices with whom you would be working directly on day-to-day basis, they would be responsible for day-to-day management and overall supervision of your work. So you would be reporting your tasks directly to them, and then all the cohort activities to us. So this is like a short snippet of what the previous cohort had for the whole year. So like, as you can see, there were like many activities, many exciting developments during their journey. So they started the year with a robust onboarding in the country, where they also had a field visit in Ghana to understand how climate finance really works on the ground and how it delivers to the local communities. They had different training opportunities in person and online, and also even public exposure, public speaking opportunities to talk in the UN forums and UNFCCC forums, ECOSOC partnerships forum, and etc. So they were also engaged quite heavily in social media, and of course, everything finished with a graduation program in person, where they also had the networking opportunity, professional networking with people from the bank. So this is roughly, okay, sorry, I opened the comments now and reading your questions, but there would be a point in time also at the end of this when we will open the floor for questions. So just sort of like I already saw the comment, we will be sending the recording to everybody here on the call, and we'll be publishing and also publicly on the website from where you're applying to the fellowship. So everybody will get this, no worries. So just to give you a glimpse of which projects were there last year, we had 7 fellows working from different regions, including Jamaica, Kenya, Tunisia, Cairo, Egypt, India, and Thailand. And also their assignments really spanned diversely from managing stakeholders, contributing to climate finance initiatives, doing like reporting or story writing, and also technical work like calculating specific maybe carbon footprinting even in some cases. So the diversity of the assignments is definitely wide, and also it would highly depend on the local need of the project, where the project is right now in the project cycle, and what sort of needs that would entail for the fellow to contribute to. So the most interesting part, of course, is what do we have for you this year? And this year we have this 6 amazing stations across the world that are all focusing on different thematic areas, as mentioned by Dora. And you can see it on the screen: Brazil, Ghana, India, Papua New Guinea, and Turkey. And I would probably direct you at this point to terms of reference to read deeply more on the country context, also what is climate investment funds are doing in the region and in the country, and also what is the MDB doing in that specific country. So that way you would understand the focus of this area, and potentially you could see if you can, if this is the area of your interest, of your passion, and if you see yourself developing in that area further. So for example, if you go on our website, hopefully you know where to find it. It's 2025 SIF Youth Fellowship Program. You would scroll to the end, and here we have the files attached with each of the terms of references. So if you press on it, the file would open and will basically provide you with all the necessary information regarding that station. So let's say you are thinking about applying for the fellowship with IFC in Istanbul, Turkey. You would be able to see a little bit of the background of the project, that it is focusing on the Mersin Water and Sewerage Administration project, and that it's working with the first blue loan in Turkey's infrastructure sector. So you are able to also see the thematic area for this fellowship is sustainable infrastructure and climate finance. In comparison, for example, because I'm sure that we'll get the question, the fellowship with EBRD in the same country, though, is focusing on the clean energy and climate finance and even climate governance. So if you read the descriptions, they're a bit different, and also the set of tasks a bit varies depending on the country. So I would encourage you to read the specific terms of references related to the fellowship that you are interested in. And in the case with Turkey, because like there are two opportunities in the country, read which one relates to you more, or you can of course also try your luck with both of them. So coming back to this, another comment I wanted to make is regarding the India station. So in India, you would be based in New Delhi office. However, your assignments will not be only revolving around national projects, but also we really wanted to introduce the project with a small island development nation, Maldives, in the Pacific Ocean, where you would be able to see like different projects implemented in different contexts and also contribute to that region's development projects. So be prepared that the projects here would go beyond India, and also in terms of references, there are more details about what would that entail and what sort of expectations we might have for this station. So let me see what's next. Dora, let me pass the microphone over to you while I'll be also scrolling through comments meanwhile, and hopefully we'll hear from the MDBs.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Daria. And again, I appreciate the way you describe it as literally doing a quick Q&A, because these are some of the very basic questions that we receive from interested applicants. So thank you for covering them. As I mentioned, we'll be calling on our multilateral development bank partners to give us a quick insight. And I know Anthony Karambu, Principal Investment Officer and Renewable Energy Specialist for the African Development Bank, would have to be leaving shortly. So Anthony, please, would you open your mic and your camera, introduce yourself, and give us a bit of a flavor of the AFDB work in Ghana. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Unfortunately, with my camera, because of internet network here, it's not really good. But just to mention, for Ghana, it will be a unique one because this project has both off-grid and on-grid. So on-grid, you'll have a net metering, which is, I think Ghana will be one of the first few countries on the continent that will be testing this model for net metering. But also, again, Ghana is one of those countries that is one of the highest, with the highest access rates. However, 15% of the population, which is not connected, is actually on the island or I'll say the Lake Volta region. So the one interesting bit about this is where you'll see, hands-on, real-time access of electricity and how it develops and pushes the foundation, at least on the economic, social well-being of the people, at least within the Lake Volta Lake region. So I think I'll just stop there. But also just to mention, an offset of this will be the fact that we'll be bringing in, at least on the phase 2, clean cooking, which is also big within the continent. Thank you.
Wow, Anthony, I think I'm going to sign up for this one. Thank you so much for the insight. And if, of course, what's in the interest of the applicants, we had that opportunity of visiting as part of the onboarding of our first cohort, visiting the sites for the the Ghana program. So it's quite a privilege to hear the description, and looking forward to that moment when we have the fellows selected to working hand in hand with the FDB in the delivery of this operation. Again, it's a pleasure to have you, Anthony, and thank you so much. I'd like to now call on Ms. Beata Paraxai from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, who's a principal for climate strategy and delivery, to give us an insight of the EBRD program in Turkey. So over to you, Beata, and thank you. And forgive me if I didn't say your name well, but I'm sure I did.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you and hear details about the SIF Fellowship program. This is super exciting, I can attest. So I prepared a couple of slides actually about our Climate Stars program that is running in Turkey at the moment. I don't know if I will be able to share them. Maybe not.
Able to. Yes, you should be able to, Beata.
Okay, fantastic.
Irene, can you make her co-host if yes?
Yeah, she can share.
All right, amazing. Yes, we can see something is popping up.
You can see it now. Okay, fantastic.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so a very warm welcome, good afternoon, good morning, wherever, depending on wherever you are. It is my pleasure to be here with you. I would like to say a couple of words about the Climate Stars program. Thank you for the introduction. The connection to the Climate Stars program for myself is coming from the fact that since 2020, I have been involved in the implementation of this program from the EBRD side together with our banker colleagues. So I believe that this initiative highlights how strategic partnerships and innovative finance can drive impactful results in a country, a very important country such as Turkey, and lead to sustainable change. So brief introduction about the program. This is a program supported by the Climate Investment Fund and is aimed to empower Turkish banking sector to scale up green financing, and while scaling up green financing, also embed climate considerations within their own practices. The program has three core. I try to be brief. So the program has three main core components. One that I mentioned is support to Turkish banks. Why? Because they are channeling funds throughout the country, a massive country, and through their network, they can actually lead to meaningful impact through their branches. So they will be able to liaise with small individuals, small businesses, larger businesses, basically the real economy. And what we would like is to integrate the banks, to integrate climate change considerations into their lending strategies. And through this, they will inspire their clients, Turkish businesses, to also become more focused on the green transformation, to gather all the knowledge that is necessary for them to become, more environmentally friendly and greener, and reduce their emissions and save their energy. And basically managing climate change related business risk and opportunities. This is a key component. We also are, disseminating best practices through the Climate Corporate Governance Network. This is a very important promoting channel or broader, an initiative that is planned to lead to broader adoption of climate risk management in Turkey, in the Turkish financial sector. With regards to the implementation model, you can see it on the right-hand side. Basically, concessional finance and EBRD funds are blended together and on lend to participating financial institutions in Turkey, who will then on lend these funds for eligible green projects. I will say a little bit about what kind of projects these are on the next slide. And to support this, technical assistant, a set of consultants, basically, they are working together with the banks and their clients in assessing their projects, advising how best to, what components they need to incorporate in order to achieve to maximize the green potential of their investments. This is about what it is. And then next slide is about the results of how we are doing so far. It's what we have seen is that the program has been very successful today. We have partnered up with 4 banks, and these 4 banks have committed to a set of time-bound milestones that they will achieve, through which they will become, their own business practices will become more greener. They will take into consideration climate risk and manage climate risk much better. They have legally committed to this, actually. So we have, through these banks, we have financed so far almost $300 million worth of sub-projects. They are mainly renewable, solar and biomass, machinery replacement, building improvements in some places, and of course, commercial vehicle replacements is important as well. We have financed a lot of projects in the textile sector, in the food and beverages sector, in the manufacturing sector, obviously. And many of the projects also lead to water saving. So this comes in, when we talk about green projects, it's not just climate change mitigation and projects to enhance climate resilience, i.e. climate adaptation projects, but both of them are considered eligible and is desirable, actually, to be financed under the program. You can see that I will not take you through the numbers. These are so far the results to date. And what's important, because I did mention the capacity building component to enhance the knowledge of the local, not just financial sector, but their client sector, their knowledge about climate risk and management. So far, 53 companies were visited. These companies have actually learned about what they need to do in order to reduce the carbon footprint of their company. And 16 have actually went ahead and they realized a project. We don't have a special focus on SMEs, but we consider them a very important segment within the portfolio. And together with some of the banks, we are raising awareness among, they are less sophisticated compared to big corporates when it comes to measuring their carbon emission and the reporting and, what to do best in order to save energy and emission reduction. So they are in focus as well. And then most importantly, one big achievement was to launch the Chapter Zero in Turkey in 2023. This is a high-level platform for companies to build capacity for boards and senior management on climate governance and risks. And to be continued, the initiatives are ongoing. And where you come to the picture, basically the journey doesn't stop here. As part of the SIF Fellowship, you play a critical role in continuing this success. As Daria explained, you can check, the terms of reference specifically, but you will be contributing throughout the life cycle of the project. For example, support all stages of the project development. This may include research, policy dialogue, stakeholder engagement with governance and partners, as well as planning, monitoring, and reporting for climate finance projects. You can provide technical assistance, advice on the concessional finance, contribute to knowledge sharing and advocacy initiatives, organize events and workshops. You can actually be on the ground and liaise with the businesses and their leaders on the mind, and you can hear direct feedback from them. And through working with the banks, you will be able to contribute to a bigger impact, basically, than working one-on-one with one company. And this is where I close. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Beata. Thank you. Definitely the reason why I'm the participant asking for the slides, because this is very informative. It gives you a very good insight, good understanding of the program, and really whets the appetite of really stepping up one's game to be able to fill this slot. So thank you again for such helpful information, and I hope we'll be able to get the slides from you to share with the wider audience. Excellent. I'd like now to call on our Inter-American Development Bank representative, Ms. Gloria Visconti. I know you're connected, so please, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dora, and I hope you can hear me and see me well, because I have a bad internet connection today. So very pleased to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and welcome to all the interested fellows for this exciting program. I also have a short presentation. Let me see if I'm able to share here. Yes, give me a second, please. Right, I hope you can see it right now. Yes, great. So we are talking about Brazil. The government of Brazil, with the help of the Inter-American Development Bank Group and the World Bank Group, did present an investment plan on renewable energy integration program that is focusing on the northeast part of Brazil. So the fellowship, the fellow that will work with the IDB will work on this specific project that is very exciting, also through a national development bank, which is the Bank of the Northeast of Brazil. But let me try to show you in, let's say, in a very simple and short term what is the project about. So first of all, what is the problem that we are trying to address? Although there is a huge potential in Brazil, a huge generation of renewable energy, that is not the overall, let's say, part of the solution or of the problem. In addition to the generation of renewable energy, it's also necessary to have a stable connection of this renewable energy into the transmission lines that gives electricity. So this is about renewable energy integration in the system of the Northeast of Brazil. There is a huge need of financial resources. And what we are trying to address here is, through the project, is exactly to face all the barriers related to have a, let's say, a flexible and a stable energy system related to renewable energy. So the overall objective of the program is to strengthen the integration of energy generation from variable renewable sources, as you can see here in the northeast part of Brazil. And you can see here also more developed the specific objectives of the project itself. Also, I would like to emphasize that this project is a classic, typical mitigation project. You will see later regarding the indicator, but it can also be seen as an adaptation project. Why? Because especially when there are interruption to the system, renewable energy might present a reliable source in the system, in transmission system as well. So it is important not only from the mitigation part, but also from the adaptation part of the climate change. The project is development executing through a single component that is about 67 million US dollars, half financed through the climate investment funds and half financed by the ordinary capital of the IDB. And we're talking about mainly a loan, so reimbursable resources. These resources will go through a national bank, the Banco do Nordeste do Brasil, that will sublend to other financial institution or private sector companies in order to comply with the main objective. So as the colleague from Turkey said, in this case, we through executing through one entity, in this case, the Banco do Nordeste do Brasil, we are reaching out to multiple stakeholders, especially from the private sector, multiplying the effect and also raising additional financial resources and being also sustainable in the future when these concessional resources will be spent. So we hope that at that point, after the execution of this program, activities like this one can be financed directly from the private investment in Brazil or from commercial banks. So as I said before, the impact indicators are mainly related to greenhouse gases emissions that are avoided due to the investment supported by the program, but also indicators are related to the volume of co-financing, not only from the IDB, but also from the private sector in itself, and also the installed capacity of renewable resources. In addition to the reimbursable resources or the loan that will be provided, there are also some resources that are a grant, so of 1.5 million that will support capacity building activities. So the fellow will work on a daily basis with the team leader of this operation. That is not me. I'm based in Washington, D.C. I'm the focal point for the CIF. So you will work with the team leader of the operation that works in the division related to capital market of the IDB in the IDB office in Brasilia, and you will be instrumental for a good and timely execution of this program. Thank you.
Wow, Gloria, thank you so much. And for our participants, Gloria is the lead for climate change specialist with the IDB. And clearly, Gloria, you've been able to give us a very comprehensive picture of the REI program for Brazil. And thank you so much for speaking clearly to our participants, even giving an indication of the indicators and how these will be used as basis for determining the success of the program. So again, this is to our interested participants. I hope you get a very good flavor of what the respective programs are. We will not necessarily be tackling each of the 6 programs, but at least having given you one from the Africa region, one from Eastern Europe and Central Asia, and one from the Latin American Caribbean region, give you enough of a picture of what the whole program is about. So before we go any further, I'd like to bring Daria in, to speak very briefly on what the application process is. How do you now apply if you're interested? And I'm happy again, Daria, that you're fielding questions as they come in. So over to you, Daria, and then we'll open up for Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are many interested applicants now since hearing all of these amazing presentations. I already hear that many people want to choose like the other stations when they hear about this exciting project. So I'm glad we are aligned. So the process is as simple as it gets. You already know the main website because you're registered to this webinar or you're watching this webinar in the recording. So in that website, you are able to see terms of references. So each terms of references, as shown on the screen on the right, contains, or I can even actually show you the real one, contains all the necessary information of where will you make a difference, what's the context, what's the project, what would be the tasks and key responsibilities of the fellow there, how is it working practically, whom we are looking for this fellowship, and the link. So the link should lead you to the SurveyMonkey website. Okay, yeah, I have taken the survey already, so that won't open for me the second time, but you got the idea. You will see this window. Basically, like each of you probably applied for many opportunities before. So you will see the SurveyMonkey window, which would ask you to choose the station of the fellowship. So you need to choose whether you're applying to Ghana or India, and then fill out the application as it goes. And we will be notifying only shortlisted candidates at first and inviting them for the interview. There would be maybe multiple set of interviews, and the jury will be comprised from representatives from our 6 partner MDBs and also CIF program leads. Also, we might be asking the candidates who are further in the process to share their references. And then at the end stage, we will be sending all of you guys the email stating either you like passed through or didn't pass through the process. So we hope to, be mindful also of your time and your expectations, and also like send you the email if you were not selected. So this is just wanted to show you the screenshot that this is what SurveyMonkey will show you. Thank you for taking the survey. This is the final point when your application has been sent, and you don't have to email us asking if we received the application. If you saw the green window, everything was all right. We got your application. And if you have the problem, just like what I faced, like I already filled in something, like try different browser or try different account, and then like if you send by mistake uncompleted form, for example, like try, like I'm sure you are digitally aware people, so try other solutions. And with that, just want to finalize that the deadline is December 18. And we will be shortlisting and interviewing candidates during the January, February, and then during the February, we will be also doing the HR necessary processes or the logistics. So we hope to announce the cohort around March, and in March or April, there would be the onboarding happening, and also different briefings, and of course, like all the necessary steps to kick off the internship at this point. So with this, I think the most exciting part is coming. We are inviting our amazing first cohort fellows to speak to their experience and, share what it took for them to apply and also go through the process, and how that year felt for them and what sort of insights they might be sharing with you today. So I will be passing the word to, let me see. Guys, feel free to unmute yourself, who is already ready. I know Bright, Thanakon, Renee is connected, so just don't want to put you on the spot in case it's too late for you in the day. So Renee, Thanakon, or Bright, who wants to be the first?
Yeah, I think I can go first. Yeah, it's
Sure.
almost midnight in Japan now. Good to see you all again, like familiar faces. Really missed you. Glad to be back. Yep. So just to kind of think about the memories and the wonderful experience that I had throughout that 1 year. What's sticking in my mind and my heart the most is the onboarding activity that we had in Ghana, because when I applied and I got the position and they said, yeah, you are going to Ghana. I'm like, what, Ghana? Like Africa? It's so far away, and I couldn't even imagine it. And when I was there, I was so amazed by everything, and I was in awe of the poverty and the hardship that they are living. That struck me the most. That wants me to help people more. The moment there's one moment when I saw a guy drinking water literally from a pond that is next to a trash landfill. Yeah, that moment it broke my heart, and I felt like, okay, we are so privileged, and there are much more that we can help these people. And through climate finance, there's so many things that we can do with this. So that is one thing that get me started already. So yeah, and after that, they keep you going with the onboarding activity. They equip you with all the skill needed to work. And not only that, when you go back to your designated office, they give you the online learning platform that you can always equip new skills by yourself. And yeah, and that keep continuing. And a lot of hand-on experience on the ground that you can see how our work is changing people's life. You can see that in front of your eyes, from the development project planning to the implementation. So that whole package you will get, and you will love this job. You want to keep doing. So what I want to give advice for the applicants this year is, what you need for this program is just an open mind and the thirst to learn and for knowledge, and the heart that want to save our beautiful planet. That's it.
Thank you very much, Thanakon. And again, thank you so much for joining this late from Thailand. And again, it's quite an asset to see the pictures on the screen where we see you and Bright having that opportunity to join global platforms where you shared your experience in Cambodia, and also had the opportunity to host quite a number of regional events. So it's a pleasure to see you again, and I'm glad also to learn of the next steps, having completed your stint as a fellow with the Climate Investment Funds and based in the Asian Development Bank office in Bangkok. So thank you again, Thanakon. Renee, can you come in?
Sure. Hi. Are you guys hearing me and seeing me?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here, to be back and see everyone. My experience, I worked in Jamaica on the pilot program for climate resilience. I didn't really have that much experience in climate finance specifically, from the end of, I would say, the back end. So from the giving side of the climate finance previously to doing the fellowship. But after, I gained a lot of knowledge on climate finance and how climate finance is like the #1 most important thing to driving climate resilience in the Caribbean and other regions. Besides just working with the country office in Jamaica, I also had other opportunities that were very beneficial, like public speaking at the UN ECOSOC conference. That, kind of prompted me to really understand deeply what climate finance is in order to relay that information to others in a way that they will be able to understand, that's not too complex, and also to drive the point that climate finance is a very important tool, kind of drives everything that happens after that. What I would say, my advice to going into this fellowship, if you're applying, is, like my colleague said, having an open mind and the want to learn continuously is very important. If you don't have that drive and that passion for climate change or being a young leader, I think that it might be difficult. So if you know that you have that in your heart and that's your personality, even if you want to bring it out of yourself, develop it, you should really apply, and it's something that is really beneficial to achieving some of those goals that I mentioned. Yeah, and that's it from me.
Renee, thank you so much again for speaking from Jamaica, having worked with the Inter-American Development Bank, specifically on the CIF pilot program for climate resilience. It was a delight to have you in Washington. It was a delight to hear your contributions during the ECOSOC panel sessions, and for being a strong voice for championing the work of the fellows as you were with us. So great to have you, and I hope the baby's doing wonderful. Good to
Yes,
see you.
thank you.
All right. With Renee done, I believe we can invite Mercy. Mercy, are you connected? Are you able to chime in?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Good to have you. Hey, good to see you.
Daria wasn't even thinking of me, but I'm here anyway.
Excellent.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Mercy. I am from Nairobi, Kenya, and I was the CIF Youth Fellow for the African Development Bank. I came prepared, but it seems my colleagues Tanakon and Renee kind of already shared what I wanted to share about being curious, being adaptable, and being open to learning. So the other thing that I would add on is to not be afraid to share your ideas and your knowledge. You're going to be there by merit and you have something to offer. So yes, I wish you all the best and I look forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn or wherever. Thank you. Also, please,
Excellent.
Daria and Dora, let us know if we can apply again because these projects seem to be much more interesting and I am jealous.
Thank you. Of course, this is to say that you set a pretty good base, and that is what we are building on. So it's a privilege to have you as our first cohort. So thank you very much. So with that, we can conclude
I
the
think we have
session.
a Bright as well.
Bright is connected.
Yes.
Yes, maybe I can go quickly.
Yes, please, Bright, over to you.
Yes, so very happy to be back here again to see familiar faces. Yeah, so maybe quickly from my side, I would give some advice when it comes to making your application stand out. Because like for me, I focused on two skills. First, on institutional skill like stakeholder engagement or communications, and also technical skills. So for me, I was working on nature-based solution and youth engagement. So I think if you see some the term of reference, maybe this renewable energy, maybe you try to write that down, like what kind of work or knowledge that you have, like focus on your strengths when it's come to tailor your application. I think that's how maybe I get in. And yeah, I think all my colleagues already mentioned, the experience has been really invaluable. We learn a lot throughout the process. Climate finance is something really new for me. But again, I think, you just need to be open-minded, keep learning. There's always opportunities everywhere. And of course, you have to network. I think that's why I got a job afterward with Asian Development Bank to work on youth engagement and climate change. So yeah, I think all the best to the applicants. And hopefully we can connect further to discuss about this. Yeah, thank you.
This is awesome. This is really awesome. It's quite an honor to have you all back and to share your experience, not just as fellows, but what has been the next steps after finishing the fellowship. And I believe we have had quite a fine opportunity addressing questions as they came in. So our fellows, note that participants are asking to share your contact. I believe by virtue of with your names, you should be able to find them. And also Darius provided the link to the CIF website to allow you to also know them and then to be able to connect with them on LinkedIn. Noting that we asked for 1 hour of your time, we would open up and take 1 or 2 questions and then dash off, but with the hope that we've been able to really, challenge you into stepping up and applying, and 2, provided you with the information that would facilitate you, as Bright mentioned, submitting really compelling applications. Amin, Abdul, please, you have the floor. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abdul Ghaffar Dasan Amin. I am a Ghanaian. I'm currently studying climate change management and finance at Imperial College London. And my question is around the start time of the program. My master's does not end until June of 2025. And that means that if I should apply for the fellowship, by the March start date of the fellowship, I would still be a student residing in the United Kingdom. How does this impact my application? My second question is about the nature of the program. The Ghana program, as was described, involve on-grid and off-grid, mainly Ghana mini-grid and solar PV nurturing. You did stress that you do not need climate finance background. But luckily for me, I have climate finance background. But PV, solar PV net metering and mini-grid are quite technical. Does it mean I do not need those technical skills as well? And my final question, I promise, is one of the past fellows did highlight the fact that they got a job after the fellowship. Is this part of the trajectory of the fellowship, or they got the job based on their hard work, or it's a transition plan that is being set up by the fellowship?
Amir, let me see if I got your name correctly. Abdul, not Amin, Abdul.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your interest. Thank you for these very well-structured questions, 3 of them. I would say for the first one that you ask about being in your master's program and only completing in 2025, I would challenge myself to bring either Bright or Thanakon on, in that we had a similar experience, but then the process was quite seamless. One, to ensure that the fellow was able to contribute as needed to the delivery of the program while they completed that part of their education. So the understanding is that you should be able to fulfill the asks in partnership with the African Development Bank. So we would have to rate that. And of course, this is to say that if you are selected, if you see what I mean, but it's important to note that the ultimate goal is to be able to provide you the space for learning, the space for exchange, the space for bringing your expertise to play. But it shouldn't necessarily be such that it's constricting your ability to deliver on your educational pursuit. So that's one quick one I'd add. About the technical expertise, as you may note, we mentioned different areas of technical expertise, and it's in the best interest of the fellow to be able to hit the ground running, in the sense that you have a good understanding. And if I may use Priyal, who worked with our solar rooftop project in India, she had a background in that renewable energy integration and renewable energy generation. So it made it easy for her to understand the program and to be able to contribute meaningfully. And if you heard from Mercy, Thanakon, and Bright, there's that value to being able to meaningfully bring your voice to bear in the delivery. So that exposure, depending on your area of interest and depending on the program, becomes critical to making the fellowship meaningful to you. On the basis that you have the skill set, that gives you an edge, I would say. Again, this is an opportunity, and each fellow optimizes or maximizes it differently. So depending on that background that you bring, that gives you the chance to be fully integrated into the program implementation. So that becomes a plus for you. Our hope is to be able to build the next cohort of youth leaders who are savvy on climate finance. So bringing the technical expertise gives you the space to be able to match the needs on the ground and to be able to then tap into the additional finance training that will be provided as part of the fellowship. And in terms of the job, no, that is not the third point that Bright mentioned. That is a plus to own effort, but it doesn't come as a package. Our hope is that you use the 12 months on the ground exposure to build your own skill set to be more marketable, but we wouldn't necessarily burden the program with that additional ask of securing a position for you. Happy to say that for the fellows, each and everyone, based on their, as Mercy said, based on their own passion based on their drive for excellence, based on their interest to optimize that opportunity given them, they've been able to go the next step in their own career pursuits. So that's how I would answer it. But I'm really happy that you're ending the session with these very well-curated questions. And I hope that the responses have also been found useful by all the other participants. Again, noting that we asked for 1 hour of your time. We are happy that we've just gone 6 minutes above. We are going to make this session video recording available. We will make the presentations also available, and we will be looking forward to any additional comments, questions that may come through our LinkedIn page. But we hope that the ultimate objective of this meeting, which is one, to give you a very good insight of the program, expose you to the various initiatives that will be implemented or supported by fellows, and also given that opportunity to answer any questions that you may have, similar to what Amin has helped us do, has opened up your the eyes of our potential applicants to the SIF Youth Fellowship Program. So I'd like to end off by duly thanking our MDB partners who've demonstrated a strong partnership with the Climate Investment Funds. Also thanking my team here at the Climate Investment Funds, Daria, for being a true champion for really demystifying the intricacies of climate and climate finance, and to all our esteemed partners who really made it here and ensure that we could have this engaging session. And to my dear Irene for ensuring that our connection worked flawlessly to allow you to connect both by audio and by video and to have this meaningful session. So on that note, thank you very much for making time. Thank you very much for joining. And to our fellows, thank you again for really being beacons of hope and for giving us the push to even further strengthen the delivery of this Youth Fellowship Program. So on that note, thank you very much again for your time, and we look forward to receiving your applications. Thank you.